Hi guys, welcome back to the Cali Culture channel. I go by Mr. International Man of Mystery, and I am back with another great video for you. Today, we are going to continue on with our series, Don't Give Papaya. In Spanish, remember that means no dark papaya. Now, before we get into part 3, let's briefly recap parts 1 and 2. In part 1, we discussed how not to be flashy. Don't wear expensive jewelry, expensive watches. Don't wear designer clothes in Colombia. You want to wear very modest clothing, and you don't want to be flashy and be too seen with expensive things. In part 2, we discussed the most safe neighborhoods in Cali, Colombia: El Peñon, San Antonio, and Grenada. Obviously, there are other neighborhoods that are safe, but those are the 3 that I recommend that I frequently either reside in or hang out in those neighborhoods. Now, part 3. Actually, before we talk about part 3, like, follow, subscribe for more good information. Do that now. So, part 3, general principles for staying safe while in Colombia, specifically Cali. I always focus on Cali because Cali has a bad reputation of criminal activity, and I think it's an undeserved reputation. For the most part, it's a safe city, but you just have to know how to move. You can't give papaya. I'm really give you some general principles today, things to abide by, to do that I think will help you as you continue to go to Cali, or if this is the first time you decide to go to Cali, Colombia. These things you're definitely going to want to pay attention to closely. So the first thing is you don't want to have what I call critical items on you when you're just walking around the city or if you're hiking. What do I mean by critical items? Critical items that you need to ultimately leave the country. For example, you never want to have your wallet. Don't ever have your wallet with you. What you do is you lock your wallet in a safe or secure it in your apartment or Airbnb or hotel. But you don't bring this with you. Never have this on you, because this is definitely giving papaya. You have your credit cards in here. Also, you have cash, dinero. So you don't want to have this on you. You take the amount of cash that you're going to bring, whether that be 500,000 pesos or less, and you put that in your pocket, and you maybe take one credit card or one debit card, and that's it. But don't bring your whole wallet. Number 2, don't bring your passport. Never bring the passport there. That's never a smart idea. You need this to get out of the country, so why in the world would you bring this? And if you were to get robbed, if you have to give this up, then you can't get out of the country. That's not using your head. That's not being smart. So never bring your wallet and your passport. Now, some other things to keep in mind. I don't believe in bringing book bags or knapsacks. I don't think that's a good idea. Let me show you. These man bags, or I guess they're called crossover bags, are becoming real popular nowadays. Shannon Sharp loves these crossover bags, and I'm not trying to hate on the bags, but it's just not a wise idea. Why? You gotta step into the mind of a criminal, and a criminal is gonna think, oh, all I have to do is snatch this bag, is pull this bag from over his neck and over his shoulder, and guess what? This might be enough money and enough valuables for me for the rest of the year. That's the way a criminal in Colombia is gonna think. So you really don't need this. Don't need it. You don't need a book bag, a knapsack. This is a nice knapsack that I have. I'm not going to bring it when I'm going out in the city or when I'm just walking to the Boulevard del Rio. I'm not going to bring either of these. I wouldn't bring this, so I wouldn't bring a book bag. And keep in mind, think in terms of the criminal. All I have to do is get these bags from you. And it's very easy to do. I don't care how big and strong you are. If you have a gun in your face, if you have a weapon in your face, you're going to have to give up that bag. So you don't need to do that. What I would recommend is cargo pants. Wear pants like this with many pockets in them, many pockets to put things in, as you can see. I recommend this. And you have a lot of pockets in here where you can put money and you can put other things. The good thing about it is if you're wearing cargo pants and you, unfortunately, are a victim of a robbery, they say, hey, give me all your money, get everything. You can go in the first pocket, you can give them that, and you can still have your main cash in one of these other pockets. That's the good thing about it. They don't know. A criminal is just trying to get your money real quick. They're trying to do a quick grab and go. So if you have multiple pockets, you just go into the pocket with the least amount of cash, give them the cash, and then hopefully they go on about their business and you can live to see another day. So do not bring knapsacks, book bags, backpacks. I would avoid that. The only time I would probably have a book bag is when I went on a long hiking trip. And even then, I wouldn't have anything valuable in that book bag. A good rule of thumb is always never bring anything that is of value that you're not willing to give up. In other words, you never bring your wallet, you never bring your passport, you never bring lots of cash. Don't bring significant cash. Bring just the amount of cash that you need. And if you were to be in an unfortunate situation and get robbed, then you could give that up. Okay, guys, so the next tip, when you go to Colombia, be respectful, be humble, be cool. Remember, you're in someone else's country. You're in Colombia. You're in South America. People in South America do things differently than people in America and other countries. So you can't be upset. You can't get frustrated with people that have different cultures besides your own. One of the things I've personally heard from Americans that have traveled to Colombia that they complain about the pace of Colombians. They say Colombians are slower and they believe in doing things very slow and they're not just fast paced like we are in America. Well, guess what? You're not in America. When you go to Colombia, that is a completely different culture. So what if they do things slower? Adapt. Learn how to slow down. Learn how to be calm. Learn how to be patient. Me being an American and from America and live most of my time in America, I would not want a Colombian coming to America telling me that, complaining about America, complaining about our customs. That would really piss me off, in all honesty. Imagine how Colombians feel when Americans complain about them. Be respectful, be courteous, because I promise you, there are some serious people in Colombia. Just because you got the big muscles and you got the tattoos and you think you're tough and you think that you run the streets in America, if you try to take that attitude to Colombia, guess what? You could find yourself in a world of trouble. You could find yourself in a situation you can't get out of, and you can mess around and find out. So be respectful. Understand the culture. If somebody bumps into you, don't worry about it. Just shake it off. Just say, hey, lo siento, and keep walking, because you might bump into the wrong person. You might bump into a gang member or the head of a gang member. Then you got serious problems. Avoid all of that. Be respectful, be humble, be courteous. Just be a good human being, and you'll be fine. Okay, so I want to talk to the ladies for a minute. I know that solo female traveling now is starting to increase, actually exponentially. There's a lot of ladies that are deciding, I'm not waiting on anybody. I am going to travel myself and enjoy life and see the world. I think that's a great thing. However, ladies, you have to understand that you are a big target. When you travel alone, you are a big target. Let's just be honest here. Let's not fool ourselves. If it's a man that's traveling alone, he's going to be less of a target than a woman, especially in a country like Colombia. So when you're traveling alone as a female, it's okay, but you just have to be extra cautious, extra vigilant. There's some things that you need to do. For example, obviously, you don't need to be on dating sites. Not smart, not wise. There's men that are criminals on dating sites. If you would get with them, they could do you harm. I think that's the obvious one, right? The next thing is, it's not wise or smart to post a lie, because when you post it live, you're letting the criminals know exactly where you are as a solo traveler, and that could be put you in a bad situation. If you willingly give information to a viewer that might be a criminal in Colombia, you're putting yourself in a bad situation, and you can be set up, you can be robbed, you can be kidnapped or worse. Never post live videos, whether it be TikTok, Instagram, don't do it. Next thing is avoid busy nightclubs. There's a lot of nightclubs in Medellin, Cartagena. There's even nightclubs in Cali that is very packed. There's a lot of people. As a female solo traveler, I would strongly suggest you not go to bars that are very, very populated, that have a lot of people. Why? Because you might be drinking and you might have somebody behind you, on the side of you, or in front of you with bad intentions, and they're just waiting for you to slip up. They're just waiting for you to turn this way that they can put something in your drink. No, you need to be in a bar, if you go to a bar at all. I mean, I wouldn't recommend as a female solo traveler to go to bars at all, especially at night. Maybe during the daytime, but not at night. But if you go at night, go to one that's less populated. That way you can see, you can scan the bar in the area, and you can use situational awareness. But again, if I'm honest with you, I'm going to say don't go to bars at night at all. That's the best sort of safety precaution you could do for yourself. The next thing is avoid hiking long distances by yourself. It's better to hike in a group There are hiking tours that you can do with groups. It makes it more safe as a female solo traveler. So I would highly recommend you don't just go and hike a Guatepe. Don't just go hike it by yourself. Even though there's a lot of people out there, I would still try to get in a group and do it as a group. Other than that, you should be perfectly fine. One of the things that I'll close this video with is keep a low profile. This goes for the men and women. Keep a low profile in South America and Colombia. You don't need to always post your whereabouts. You don't need to be in the life of the party in bars every night. People don't need to know exactly what you do for a living. Not necessary. Just keep a low profile. You know, be seen but not always heard. You're going to be fine. And I hope these tips have helped you out. I know they will if you listen closely, if you apply them to your lifestyle as you travel. It's not just for Colombia, it's for anywhere you travel. These tips can be used and applied. So that concludes part 3 of the Don't Give Papaya series. I got another part 4 coming soon. But if you like this video, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, definitely follow me on social media. I have so much in store for you regarding Colombian culture, specifically the Cali Colombian culture. Remember, Colombia is a beautiful country. Cali, to me, is one of the greatest cities in the world. You're going to have a great time, great culture. Remember, Cali is Cali. Be safe and have a good time. Salud.